So I wanted to do a video with all the current updates for RGBA Riverside, starting with Mikey Garcia. He is 39-0 with 30 knockouts. He is scheduled to face undefeated Errol Spence Jr. from DeSoto, Texas, from the Dallas area. Spence is 24-0 with 21 knockouts. He is currently the IBF welterweight champion, so his belt will be on the line. Mikey's been 3 weeks at SNAC in San Carlos up north in Northern California training. Robert Garcia reported that all his fighters, short of Jose Carlos Ramirez and Abner Mares, all use SNAC supplements. And then we have 31-3-1 Abner Mares challenging himself against the 130-pound champion Gervonta Tank Davis. This will be at the StubHub in Carson, California. Mares has never shied away from a tough fight. Robert Garcia mentioned after his loss with Leo that he should take 1 or 2 fights to get back in the winning column, to get his groove back. And Abner Mares, like he has done his whole career, does not take easy fights. He challenges himself. This will be his first time moving up to 130 pounds, and he's fighting the best fighter at 130, Gervonta Tank Davis. This fight takes place February 9th at the StubHub Center in Carson, California. Josecito Lopez, today, Saturday, had from 10 to 2, he posted on his Instagram that he was going to have a meet and greet at Rubidoux Mountain in Riverside. Rubidoux is very similar to what Griffith Park is to LA, or what Cowles Mountain is to San Diego. A lot of fighters, a lot of runners use those mountains to train, hills and mountains. So he had a meet and greet out there. He was going to be selling t-shirts. His fight is scheduled for January 26th. He has moved out of his home in Riverside and moved into Mikey Garcia's ranch home in Redlands, California. He has been there since mid or early December. So Josecito recognizes the importance of this fight. It is for Keith One-Time Thurman's WBA World Welterweight Championship. And in his corner, there was a lot of debate in the RGBA camp who would be there. Turns out that the Big G is going to be there for Josecito's fight. He will be in the corner. So they'll probably be leaving. They got another week here, and then they'll be flying out probably on Monday and out in New York that whole week. So Josecito Lopez, 36-7. Keith One-Time Thurman, undefeated at 28-0. He's been out of the ring for a couple years with several injuries. Jose Carlos Ramirez, 23-0, 16 knockouts, will be fighting the day after the Abner Mares Tank Davis fight on February 10th. It will take place in Fresno, California. Brandon Bam Bam Rios, Robert Garcia reported that he will have a fight at the end of February, most likely. So he has signed a 3-fight deal with Eddie Hearn's Matchroom Boxing, and he has been televised on the DAZN app. Esquiva Falcao, via his Instagram page, February 15th, 2019, said he has a title fight. He fights at 160. He is an undefeated fighter. He is an Olympian from Brazil, 22-0, 15 knockouts. Has his entire career with Robert Garcia. Eric De Leon, 18-0 with 1 draw. That draw came against Andy Vences from Northern California in March of 2018. He had a fight in the fall and he dislocated his shoulder, so I think he had surgery and he is in recovery. Eric De Leon from Detroit, Michigan. Joshua El Profesor Franco from San Antonio, Texas, 14-1-1, will be fighting January 26th in Houston. His opponent is Lucas Fernandez from Argentina. This fight will be for the NABF bantamweight title. Bantamweight 118? He might be for the super flyweight 115. So I got to go back and research that a little bit more. Joshua El Profesor Franco. Hector Tanajara, 16-0, 5 knockouts. He fought in December at the Fantasy Springs. No updates on him. Jonathan Thunder Navarro from East LA, also 16-0, 8 knockouts. Also fought on the same card with Hector. Both of them had their first 10-round fights. Both of them, I would say, struggled is the best word to define those fights for both of them. Carlos El Mexicanito Licona, the latest champion from RGBA Riverside, 14-0, 2 knockouts. He won the title December 1st against a Filipino fighter that fought under Manny Pacquiao Promotions. He is fights at 105, the straw weight. They call it minimum weight. I think the older term is called straw weight. So he's got a fight February 16th at the Microsoft Theater in LA. And that is on the Leo Santa Cruz Flores undercard. So that'll be his first title defense. Virgil Ortiz is scheduled to fight along with Joshua Franco in Houston, January 26, 2019. His opponent is 28-13, Saul Corral, who also fought Josecito Lopez in 2017 in LA. So Virgil Ortiz, 11-0, 11 knockouts, just re-signed his... He originally had a 5-year contract, but only after 2 years, Golden Boy reached out to him and signed him up and probably increased his terms. Joseph Adorno from Allenstown, Pennsylvania, 11-0, 10 knockouts. Has a fight possibly in March or April. There's a chance he'll be fighting on Terrence Crawford's undercard, since both of them fight under the top rank banner. I will be mentioning his younger brother in the video in a bit. And then the latest fighter this week signed to RGBA Riverside on the far left. That is John El Terrible Bauza. I don't know how to pronounce that. Bauza. We'll see. We'll be learning about him very soon. He turned pro in 2016. He fights at 140. He is from Puerto Rico. He lives in New Jersey. And then I have all his social media, his Twitter page at BAUZAJOHN, and then on his IG is at Real John Bauza. He has 6 4-round fights and 5 6-round fights, so he should be close to moving up to 8-round fights. So there he is on the far left, with Robert on the far right. Alejandro Porkchop Guerrero from Irving, Texas, the Dallas area, 9-0, 7 knockouts. We were hearing rumors that he would be fighting in December, but I think that might have fallen through. So we have no updates on Porkchop. Louis Coria, the headliner for Prospects Collide. His opponent is named at 6-4-0, James Thomas from Grand Rapids, Michigan. So he is the headliner for Prospects Collide on a Friday in San Bernardino. Renato El Conde Gamez, 8-0, 5 knockouts. He is scheduled to fight January 26th, the same fight date for Josecito Lopez and Brandon Glanton in New York, and then Joshua Franco and Virgil Ortiz in Houston. And now we have Renato El Conde Gamez, 8-0, 5 knockouts from San Diego, fighting at the Fantasy Springs Resort and Casino in Indio, California. So RGBA fighting at 3 different locations, East Coast, in Texas, and on the West Coast. Misael El Chino Rodriguez, 8-0, 4 knockouts. He will be fighting in Mexico, possibly on that same date, on January 26th, somewhere in Mexico. He is from La Ciénaga de Ceniceros, Chihuahua, Mexico. Jesse Bam Rodriguez, 8-0, 4 knockouts. We have not heard any new news on Bam. Lindolfo Delgado will be fighting tomorrow, Sunday, at the Microsoft Theater in LA. This is, I don't know if his fight is scheduled to be televised, but it is a TGB event, promoted event, and some of the fights will be televised. His opponent is Martin Nicolas Matamala, 11-0 from Argentina. This is his first fight at 8 rounds for Lindolfo Delgado, 7-0, 7 knockouts. I believe he's from Linares, Tamaulipas, Mexico. Brandon Bulletproof Glanton from Atlanta, Georgia, 7-0, 6 knockouts. He will be on the undercard for the Josecito Lopez versus Keith One-Time Thurman card. Manuel Flores, Gucci Manny, that's what he goes by on Instagram, Gucci Manny with a double A, 7-0, 5 knockouts. He's a southpaw. He is preparing, as you see in this picture, he's sparring with Abner Mares, and he is managed by Cameron Duncan. Manuel Flores, 7-0, 5 knockouts from Coachella. Isidro Ochoa, 6-0, 2 knockouts. He has also been seen in the gym in December and in January. He is a southpaw fighter, fights at 122. Another sparring partner that Midas could be using in preparation for Tank Davis. Brian Lua, a top-ranked fighter, 5-0, 2 knockouts. No updates on Brian Lua. Aaron Morales, unsigned, does not have a promoter, 5-0, 3 knockouts. No updates on him. Ray Danger Murataya from Fontana, California, 5-0, 3 knockouts. He will be on the Prospects Collide on January 18th, Friday, in San Bernardino. Ruben Rodriguez, he will be fighting tomorrow at the Microsoft Theater in LA. This will be his first 6-round fight. He's 3-0, 1 knockout. He is from the Coachella Valley as well. His opponent is Daniel Perales, 10-14 and 2. Brian Beefly Macias, 3-0, 2 knockouts, scheduled to fight on Prospects Collide in San Bernardino on that Friday. He will be fighting Giovanni Noriega, 2-3-1 from Tijuana. Robert Rodriguez, we have not, Robert Biggie Rodriguez has been very active on his Instagram, and he's back in training. He is 2-0 with 0 knockouts. I don't remember which weight he fights at. I'm assuming he's probably a 112, maybe 115. I think he's 112. I think he's a flyweight. But he has been very active recently on his Instagram, showing videos of him training. Isaac Colunga, 2-0, 1 knockout. Originally from Corona, I think now he lives in the San Bernardino area. He will be fighting on Friday, January 18th, on the Prospects Collide card. Manny Rodriguez, this is Ruben Rodriguez's little brother. He is an amateur fighter. I believe his nickname is Big Baby, and his Instagram is Manny TRE. Alexis El Macizo Espino, signed to Matchroom Boxing, will be making his pro debut at Prospects Collide Friday, January 18th, promoted by Garcia Promotions. Another new fighter seen in the gym for RGBA Riverside will be having his pro debut February 2nd. He is an orthodox fighter, super lightweight, 140. He is promoted by Top Rank. He lives in Vista. That's what BoxRec has listed. And here he is. Here's a picture of him, Eric the Beast Fuentes. So he's scheduled to pro debut in February. So the list for RGBA fighters gets bigger and bigger by the week, by the day, by the month. So 2 new fighters as of the last video that I made. I'd like to give a photo credit to @Crown Boxing for the Mikey versus Spence flyer, and then a photo credit to @Cumbia for the Carlos Lincona picture on December 1st at the Staples Center. I am Sonteo Media. You can follow me on Twitter @Sonteo_media. You can also follow me on Instagram, Sonteo_media. Hope you liked the video, and more videos coming soon.